Good morning, everyone. Mabel, will you do roll call?
Yes, sir. Acadia 2,
Present by proxy.
Acadia.
Present by proxy.
Acadia 2, absent. Andover 8, absent. Andover E, absent. Andover G, absent. Andover H,
Present by proxy.
Andover I,
Present by proxy.
Bedford A, absent. Bedford B, absent. Bedford C,
Present by proxy.
Bedford D, absent. Bedford F,
Present by proxy.
Bedford G,
Present by proxy.
Bedford H,
Present by proxy.
Cambridge A,
Ah,
absent. Cambridge E, absent. Cambridge F, absent. Cambridge H, last name, sir? Sir, Cambridge H is sitting on this side, just to let you know in the future. Okay, thank you. Cambridge I, absent. Cambridge J, absent. Cambridge K,
present by proxy.
Cambridge L, absent. Canton Court D, absent. Devonshire,
Present by proxy.
Dorchester B,
Present by proxy.
Dorchester D, absent. Edinburgh,
Present by proxy.
Fairfield A,
Present by proxy.
Fairfield B,
Present by proxy.
Fairfield C, absent. Fairfield E,
Present by proxy.
Fairfield F, absent. Gloucester B,
Present by proxy.
Gloucester C, absent. Gloucester D,
Present by proxy.
D, that's it.
Yeah.
Gloucester F,
Present by proxy.
Gloucester G, absent. Gloucester L,
Present by proxy.
Gloucester M,
Present by proxy.
Gloucester N, absent. Highgate A, absent. Highgate B,
Present by proxy.
Highgate E, absent. Highgate F,
Present by proxy.
Highgate 2, absent. Highgate 3,
Present by proxy.
Highgate 4,
Present by proxy.
Inverness,
present by proxy.
Kensington, Eileen Beacom. Knowles 1,
Present by proxy.
Knowles 2, absent. Knowles 3, absent. Lancaster 2,
Present by proxy, Lancaster 2.
Lancaster 3, absent. Lyndhurst, absent. Manchester 1, last name? Manchester 3,
Present by proxy. She's going to
Manchester 4, absent. Nantucket 3, absent. Nantucket 5, absent. Portsmouth, absent. Oxford 1,
name.
last name? Well Pass, absent. Radisson 1,
Present by proxy.
Radisson 2, absent. Richmond,
Present by proxy.
Tremont 1,
Present by proxy.
Tremont 2,
Present by proxy.
Villeroy,
Present by proxy.
Yorkshire.
Present by proxy.
Mr. President, you have a quorum of 73.5% with 4,059 units with 80 associations.
Thank you, Mabel. I'll call the meeting to order. It is approximately 9:39. And would you all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Moving on to the agenda, I will entertain a motion to approve the November 19 draft membership meeting minutes. Second? Thank you. Any discussion? From those members in attendance, is there any objection to approving the November 19th draft minutes? Do we have any no votes on the proxies? How many? Representing how many units?
representing 124 units
For one no vote.
for one no vote.
Without objection, we will forego roll call, seeing there are no members in attendance who have an objection to passing the motion, accepting the motion. The only one we have is proxy, and we will include that within our count. Any objection to not doing the roll call vote? Then we will consider the motion passed, and can you tell us the count for the motion, Mabel? Mabel, you're going to put us all to sleep.
I'm sorry, sir, I'm typing everyone's vote. Just be patient, sorry.
Jack. It should be 3,935.
I know, it would have been easier just to deduct from total attendee votes, but she has to record it.
I need to make sure I'm about.
Okay, sir, I have 79 association voted yes, with 3,935 units, and which is 96.9%. And one association voted no, with 124 units, with 3.1%.
Thank you. We'll move on to the management reports, and Ginger, would you go first?
Yes, sir. Hold on one second here. Never sure who's going first. Good morning, everybody. Happy holidays. We are here in the thick of it. I'll go through the numbers for operations. Here's your fitness programming. You'll see those numbers climb as people start eating and enjoying the holidays. So gym usage is up. We're still seeing a nice significant percentage down at the Southbrook Gym. In spite of outdoor temperatures sometimes being a little cool, water class attendance will grow as well. And of course, there's your land attendance. It's back to what we typically call our normal numbers. Past COVID, these are looking more like it did before March 2020. Here's your salon and spa usage for November. You can see 400 and something clients served, and the sales and merchandise improvement over the prior November. Food and beverage, here's your total patrons served, over 8,100. We still have a lot of people using that portico pickup, so that will remain a popular opportunity for folks to get some food if they don't want to cook at home. Total sales for November, just over 143,000, with 103% of that budgeted plan. So the team's done a good job of getting back on track with what we forecasted, for this budget year, which was last year. For perk usage, that's new. As you know, that we remodeled that to be kind of a grab and go. We average about 1,100 per week. I understand from the team out there that we're getting more usage there. You'll have a little bit of a dip here in the last couple weeks, and then, as you know, January comes and the train will have left the station and will get very busy around here until Easter. So we look forward to seeing those numbers climb as well. Here's your project list. The South Club Pool Expansion Project. As you may be aware, the Federation Board approved the construction of the Tiki Bar renovation. We call that Phase 1, a company called 6K Construction. So that was approved. The permit through the county is in the final stages, and we hope to break ground the week of Monday, December 20th. That will not impact your usage of the pools. There will be a taped, cordoned off area that you all feel free to go out there and enjoy if your families come to town, but it will be a little bit of construction going on down there. The indoor pool deck at the South Club is nearing completion. We're just finishing up the tile walls, the deck, and some grouting. Hope to have that finished next week. For those folks who don't appreciate the chillier mornings, they can go inside in the heated pool and enjoy that. Again, it's just beautiful down there. The 25-ton HVAC unit will be replaced on January 10th. Estimated to take 5 to 7 days. You may say, what the heck, Ginger, why a week to replace an HVAC unit? Well, there were a couple of delays. I had told you this was going to be a little bit earlier, but frankly, we couldn't find the availability for a lift to get the unit up and in, but it's actually inside of a room. So they have to remove the walls, install the unit, rebuild the wall, and repaint. So it is a massive unit, and it takes a little while. On the North Court Complex shuffleboard courts, we're planning on, sounds coming and going there, Scott. Begin that in the fourth quarter. This will be some restriping and resurfacing of the courts. Vendor has been chosen for that. And then just some remaining HVAC replacements. Victoria and the maintenance team have done a fantastic job of doing all the improvements to your assets here and there. They'll be kind of coming into the home stretch here in the fourth quarter, finishing up some stuff. On special event information, the Winter Series are going very well. If you want to renew your previous seats, please visit the box office. Individual ticket sales began on December 13th. That was the day of the celebration of the holidays, and they had the long lines at the box office because the individual seats went on sale that day. First show is Absolute Queen on January 6th. And Care Access has received approval to launch the beginning of their Phase 3 Alzheimer's trial on behalf of Eli Lilly. We're just so pleased that they wanted to partner here in Kings Point to do their trials. And if you're interested, they have a lunch and learn on December 13th. There's one at 11 and one at 1 p.m. in the modular building, and they will also be hosting their first screening events on December 14th and 15th between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. I look out in the audience, Pass, yeah. Yeah. Jen's Open Air Market, I was actually going to say I saw a lot of you there. The report got dated here, but from the time I did it, my apologies. But I saw a lot of you up there going to the trial, so that's great news. Jen's Open Air Market, the first Wednesday of each month. That's out there by the pickleball courts. Holiday Arts and Crafts Festival, that's apparently also passed. We've got to get this updated now. Monthly line dance, December 5th. And looking forward, we've got the Kings Point Veterans Theater New Year's Eve party. Tickets are available at the box office, and save the date. We've got the Business and Wellness Expo January 14th from 10 a.m. to 2 in the Veterans Theater. The Tampa Bay family physicians will be on site and offering complimentary sugar testing, blood pressure screenings, and oxygen level monitoring. So lots coming up in our special events. I won't read you these numbers. This is transportation data for the month of November. And in security, we had no shocker here, the highest call volume November 25th. With Thanksgiving, of course, always a very popular day, probably the most popular day when families come in to visit. Issued over 14,600 passes at the gate. Look at the average calls per day, 313. We usually look to those to get up around 400 or something in season. And finally, on notables, gate security was notified of a concern from a resident that one of the homes had a "Help Me" sign in the window. Upon arrival, they found out this was a Halloween display that hadn't been taken out of the window yet. So it's nice to know people are watching and looking out for each other there. And again, to Thanksgiving, over 850 visitor vehicles registered entering the gates with multiple passengers to help celebrate the holidays. We typically do about 6,000 vehicles through that gate a day, but on Thanksgiving we'll get closer to 7,000. And finally, just wishing you blessings for the holidays and a Happy New Year from all of us here at Vesta. And we look forward to seeing you back next year.
Thank you, Ginger, and I appreciate on the week before Christmas that your report was concise and short, but covered all the topics, so thank you. Keith, turn it over to you for the first service management report.
I'll try to make mine concise and short as well, shorter. This is the first service management report for the membership for the month of December. A lot of the data will come from November, but just quickly, we have gathered all the budgets for the annual meetings time, so thank you for getting those back in. We've worked with a lot of boards and trying to get those teed up and as cleaned up as possible. And all your second notice mailings are now in the works, so those will be getting mailed out. So those that have elections or proxies coming out, so just go keep an eye out for those and let your members know that those are coming as your annual meeting date approaches. Just a couple stats on the office for the month of November. We did 35 transfers and 44 leases. We took about 3,200 phone calls, did only 357 pest control appointments, had about 1,100 walk-ins, did 34 new homeowner orientations, updated 144 emergency contacts, which is a good number, did about 57 alteration requests from unit owners, issued 28 violations, processed almost 200 checks through Avid invoicing, and drove 7 new contracts. So again, we're starting to see an uptick in leases and sales, so that's a good thing for the community there. Just quickly on insurance, again, we've wrapped up all the insurance workshops and insurance information for the budget. So we'll be working with the insurance committee over the next couple of months to prep for the renewal and bring back actually the hard numbers and information back to the community. So the next couple of months we'll have some more data for you there. Trash collection, we're going to be talking about trash collection later in the meeting today. Again, pest control's been slow for the month of December as well, and we are working on a workshop, so hopefully we'll have just an educational workshop. I know it's hard to get super excited about bugs, but we'll be able to hopefully educate on the type of the contract, what's providing, the chemicals used, and just the general pest control needs. Landscaping vendor contracts. So the RFP for all 4 sections of landscaping has been received back. The committee's met several times over the last 2 weeks, and we should be getting back our answers that the committee sent to the landscape bidders today. And they'll be working on their grading matrix and evaluations over the next 2 weeks to bring back the recommendations to the board. And so we're looking to bring that back to the membership in the January meeting now, so we're still on track for that. Grading inspections, still on pace. We'll be meeting next week on the 22nd for the December grading. Work orders real quickly for landscaping. We only had 31 work orders for the month of November, averaging 5 days to close those out. We have paused the educational workshops of the holidays for November, December, so we'll be picking back up the landscaping workshop on January 28th. We'll be able to push that out early January on the topics and the time and location for that. Palm and Oak tree trimming contract. We are wrapping up the December cycle today and Monday. They'll be back in Monday to do some things, but again, you can see from November we had 350 work orders. Again, the whole goal of the contract is to make sure that they are coming back through in 1 week of the month, addressing all palm tree concerns based on the scope of the contract, which is the dead fronds, opened up and bloom seed pods, and any limbs that are either protruding or hitting roofs or walkways or over walkways. So that's the general scope for the weekly work for each month. So if you happen to have anything that you notice, please let us know. Again, Ryan's going through and working up a lot of those work orders as well on his list, as well as the ones we received from the community. So we're trying to get as many eyes as we can on those trees that might need to get trimmed up. Emergency contacts, again, as we get through the annual meetings, we'll be trying to update those as much as possible. After our emergency calls, please don't hesitate to use that number. We always have something unique happen. We had a tree limb that got ripped off by one of those moving pods over the weekend, so always exciting. But don't hesitate to call that, and at least let us know what's going on so we can either help you out that day or line something up for first of the week. So again, with the holidays coming up, there'll be some office closures and things like that, so don't hesitate to call the office number at any time. It will roll over to our customer care center, so there'll always be somebody there to answer the phone, at least trying to generally help you, or at least get the information to the managers when they get back. So again, please don't hesitate to call the office line or the after hours line, which is the same, 813-642-8990. That's short and concise as I can make it. Again, we just want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and first service and a Happy New Year. But I'll be back up at the mic in a few minutes. So.
Yes, you will.
Just stand.
Thank you, Keith. We move to committee reports. Dan, anything?
Contract committee has nothing at this time.
Liz?
Elementary committee has nothing at this time.
Okay. Janice, insurance?
Keith said it all. We'll be meeting after the first of the year, the insurance committee.
And Tom, I assume that the landscaping committee is the same thing that Keith already covered.
It's already covered.
Alan, I know we won't have a treasurer's report till next month for the third quarter of the year. Barbara, do you have anything on CPC? So, takes to the president's report. First of all, I want to ask, how did you like the celebration of the holidays here at Kings Point? Some special gratitude for that has to be recognized. And I know there are not all the leadership members, but I will tell you, included in the leadership team that put that together for you, from the master representative was Jim Agiro. From the COA was Eileen Pico. From Vesta, there was many individuals that worked on it. You have Ginger who worked on it. You have Matt Permuth who worked on it. You have Andrew from the South Club, and you had Rudy putting together that particular aspect of it. And from the First Service Office, you had Keith. And from the Federation, it was represented by myself, and those are the people that met almost on a weekly basis at the end to make sure we could pull this off. I don't want to steal the thunder from the entire leadership team, but I know many people have asked us how successful it was. I can tell you a round figure that we raised for the Mary Martha House from the raffle and from the wristbands and the donations from our vendors, over $13,000 for the Mary Martha. Understand that raffle, that the prizes that were won basically were all donated from either a business in the community or by the vendors who serve you every single week, every single day, whether it was First Service, Vesta, landscapers. they donated over $10,000 worth of items to raffle off. I would be remiss in not thanking on the community's behalf, First Service, who basically operated the raffle and put together the raffle room and spent a lot of their own time, and it was the employees of First Service, if you went to the raffle room, who were in there selling tickets and working that raffle room. They're the ones who wrapped all the boxes for the raffle tickets. Their support was tremendous in making this a success. The other organization which I must give a great deal of gratitude is Vesta. If you were here on Monday, you saw the Vesta folks working diligently, whether it was in the theater, assisting the caterer, serving food, or outside of the theater. They set all this up. They did an exceptional job, and if you see employees from Vesta, thank them, because a lot of it, they gave an exceptional effort to make it a success it was. And we really appreciate the Vesta team stepping up to working with the community. We have one problem now, and we would ask you to spread this to the community. One of the raffle prizes has not been claimed. But there is more than one, but I'm speaking only one of the major ones. The $1,500 voucher for the cruise has not been claimed. We don't know if the person lost their ticket, did not find their number there, or didn't recognize it. Let your neighbors know, let your organization know. Please recheck your ticket numbers. We would have assumed that that ticket or that prize would have been picked up by now. I can tell you that I walked into the office, the First Service office on Tuesday, and it was like an ant colony with people coming in to pick up their prizes. Fortunately, while I was in there, I met the couple who won the Bucks tickets, and I met a couple who won the Gasparilla Inn prize. So some of the grand prizes, I was there to see these people. It was very worthwhile experience, and all these people were hustling in, and Ma Bell was running around trying to retrieve their winning prize to give to them. It was rather fun to watch Ma Bell running back and forth with the prize and taking pictures. We do have a list of every winner, and Ma Bell has a picture of almost every single winner. If they wanted to take, but you were taking quite a number of pictures that day. The leadership team, and as soon as it can be arranged and we get all of the logistics settled on how the checks will be written, we'll announce when the donation will be made to the Mary Ann Martha House. There's two other individuals that I want to recognize. One is the individual who basically oversaw the angel tree for the Mary Ann Martha House, which is Mary Ann Meeker. And I appreciate the effort that Mary Ann put in and the team she assembled to get those trees up, the angels distributed, the gifts back in, so thank you very much. But there is one person that stepped up to the plate as a volunteer, and that is Sue Martucci. Ginger, I know you heard it every single day of how beautiful the clubhouse looked with all the Christmas trees that were silently lit and all the wreaths that were hanging. I don't know, and I don't think Sue is here. Are you, Sue? Oh, you are here. Would you stand up, Sue? Sue took this on as her private cause to raise money for the Mary Ann Martha House. It was not originally a part of the holiday celebration. She worked with me a very little bit. She worked with the master and Shauna quite a bit. Sue, do you have an idea, because I didn't include that within the figure we raised from the other stuff, of how much money you raised for the Mary Ann Martha House? Sue, this community would be lost without your dedication and effort, and we really appreciate that you went, got people to decorate trees, got it out. I know initially you were worried that people wouldn't participate, but I think the participation, not only of decorating and donating trees and wreaths, but the participation of the community had to exceed your expectations. And thank you, and you know that that money will be added to the over 13,000, taking that we will be giving to the Mary Ann Martha House over $16,000 in donations. But most of all, the greatest gratitude goes to the residents of Kings Point. You folks stepped up to the plate, came out for a charity event, and raised an awful lot of money for a very worthwhile cause. And it's very seldom you get to pat yourself on the back for things, but you all deserve a large pat on the back for what you did for this community and on behalf of the community and for the Mary Ann Martha House. So thank you very much. Look forward to next year's holiday celebration. We learned a lot in putting this one together, and next year's probably should be a lot better and a lot bigger, so we're looking forward to a lot of things in that respect. And with that, I would just like to extend my wishes for a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to all of the Kings Point community on behalf of the Federation Board. So thank you very much, folks. You exceeded all our expectations. We beat our goal. And with that, we will move on to open forum. Dan, I know you signed up and you had a question, and we can cover it when Keith does his presentation, if you don't mind, unless you want to speak on it. Okay. So Keith, we'll move to new business, which is the approval of the new commercial dumpster trash collection contract. And I will turn the meeting over to you. And while Keith is standing up, I have to express my appreciation to Keith. When you're a parent, it's kind of hard when you have little bitty children, when they have recitals or dances or plays, but you don't always get to go to them. And this morning, Keith has one of his children who is doing a play, song, recital, and Keith basically gave up going to his daughter's recital to be here to present. So thank you, Keith.
It's not necessary, thank you. We got a bunch of people videotape them, so it'll be good. Well, thank you again. So we're talking trash now.
I just got done.
So again, we've kind of talked about this for the last several months with the changes from Hillsborough County, obviously with them eliminating waste connections from the county trash collection vendors. It basically forced the Federation to go rebid the dumpster collection contracts for the 69 associations that utilize the 2- and 4-yard dumpsters. So we reached out to the 3 qualified vendors, and this is based on the Hillsborough County requirements. So there are 3 vendors. Again, it's FCC Environmental, Republic Services, and Waste Management. We basically reached out and gave them the contract terms and requirements, and received back the 3 bids from those vendors, and have presented to with the board approval to the membership, the contract for FCC Environmental. Again, that came in at about $10,647 a month. And just to recap, the other bids were about $15,000 from Republic Services and $20,000 from Waste Management. So like, obviously, we're discussing the FCC contract. It is almost identical to the Waste Connection contracts. We had them kind of adapt the exact same contract terms and languages. And we just added in there the additional fees and information on page 3. That kind of covered a little bit of the nuances there. But you can see the major change, and again, this came from Hillsborough County as well, is that the disposal fee, which we've listed and we've asked them to list out on the contract on page 2, the disposal fee is now inside the collection contracts. So again, all the taxes have been removed from your county tax assessment and then added into the service contract with the provider. So you can see that we've broken down the 2 yards, the 4 yards, and the recycling now. Again, Waste Connection had the recycling built into the cost of the contract. So we've had to break it out now, so you can kind of see how much it is to pick it up and how much it is to dispose it with the county, and that's all based on tonnage and things like that. So with that being said, we felt FCC, the manager Patrick was very workable with us, open. He's going to be the account manager for the foreseeable future, so he's very easy to work with, very responsive. So the same kind of issues, if they arise about damaged dumpsters or trucks leaking, things like that, we'll still go through our office and we'll negotiate and talk with them about that. So all kind of the nuts and bolts of the contract are about the same. So obviously the price raised a little bit, and this was factored into all your budgets for those associations, again, that have the dumpsters. I guess any questions, or you want to do a motion first?
We have a motion to approve the waste collection contract with FCC Environmental as presented. Thank you. Second? Thank you. So is there any discussion? And Dan, you had a question. Is the contractor hired by the county? The contractor is hired by the county for the associations that have the wheel-out carts. But when it comes to the dumpsters, it is considered a commercial contract, and we get to select from the county's providers, let me say, the ones they have the contracts with, to do. So does that answer the question you had? Okay. The other thing I wanted to discuss as a discussion, because it is raised on numerous occasions, is this contract only affects 69 of the 113 associations, and the question is, why are all the associations voting on a contract that only impacts 69? We have to do it because our bylaws say that the bulk contracts must be approved by the Federation membership. It doesn't make an exclusion for contracts that only impact certain associations. It basically requires, it is nothing different than the mulch contract, where certain associations don't utilize the mulch contract. It also is similar to the insurance contract, where there are HOAs or other associations that do not partake in certain aspects of the insurance contract we do. So that is why it is an idiosyncrasy within having a federation that does a bulk contract, that all the members get to vote on every contract we do. Mike, did you have a?
Okay, Oxford 1 does not have any dumpsters. We don't pay for them, and we don't have the ability to use them. And we don't think we should vote on a contract like that, so we will be abstaining. But further to that, we seem to find ourselves in very litigious times, and therefore we don't want to get drawn into a potential legal battle from those associations. Thank you.
Jill Clays, Highgate C. My question is about the recycling bins and how they'll be replaced. In previous meetings, you talked about the dumpsters being replaced. our association has individual recycling bins. Could you address that, please?
Yes, thanks. The recycling bins, the existing ones, are Waste Connection recycling bins. They will be taken away and new recycling totes will be issued out there. We've kind of allocated, kind of a replacement amount for each association. So as they change the dumpsters, those will also be changed as well. So, and just with the dumpster change again, for those associations, it will happen, once this is approved over the next time until the January 30th changeover. So if you see Waste Connections picking up new FCC dumpsters, that's kind of their agreement with the counties that they'll still service your area, even if it's the FCC dumpsters. That's kind of helps with the 85 changeouts there. So same thing with recycling.
Do you know what color the dumpsters will be? Will they still be the drab green?
I don't think there was a color option.
I just wondered if they're all going to be the same.
Jack, I don't pick colors, but I would imagine they're going to be blue or green.
One or the other, which would go along with their.
But they're supposed to have all new trucks, all new dumpsters, so hopefully a lot of the issues with the older equipment and stuff like that will kind of go away, but it should be a good contract.
I will tell you, one of the biggest conversation points that we had when the county notified us that they were dropping Waste Connections and going to a different company was, how are they going to come in and replace all the dumpsters within one day? And I think that was raised to the county by numerous people, and therefore they worked out an arrangement to do it. And the reason we had to get this contract done is we have to let FCC know that we are signing the contract with them and making the contract with them so they can get started directly after the holidays, because it will take them quite a while to change out all the dumpsters.
You need to make sure they keep your dumpsters this summer.
Yeah, so they want to, and they're going to be picking up and delivering, so they will drop them off, pick up the new ones, place the new ones in the actual place they belong, and haul away the old dumpsters. You can just imagine that you're going to see these trucks around probably the whole month of January replacing them. Because we have like 83, either 2 or 4 cubic yard dumpsters, Krupke. There's 83 of them, approximately. Any other discussion? Therefore, I will have Mabel KT go.
Acadia,
Yes, by proxy.
Andover B, Andover C, Andover D, Mr. Dan, you're D. Andover C, Andover C, yes. Mr. Dan Page, you're Andover D. Yes, okay. Andover F, Andover H,
Yes, by proxy.
Andover I,
Yes, by proxy.
Bedford C,
No, by proxy.
Bedford E, Bedford F,
Yes, by proxy.
Bedford G,
Yes, by proxy.
Bedford H,
Yes, by proxy.
Bedford J, Brookville, Cambridge B, Cambridge C, Cambridge H,
Yes.
Cambridge K,
Yes, by proxy.
Cambridge M, I'm trying, Corinth,
Yes.
Devonshire,
Yes, by proxy.
Dorchester A, Dorchester B,
Yes, by proxy.
Dorchester C, Edinburgh,
Yes, by proxy.
Fairborn,
Yes.
Fairfield A,
Yes, by proxy.
Fairfield B,
Yes, by proxy.
Fairfield D, Fairfield E,
Yes, by proxy.
Fairfield G, Fairfield H, Gloucester A, Gloucester B,
Yes, by proxy.
Gloucester D,
Yes, by proxy.
Gloucester E,
Yes.
Gloucester F,
Yes, by proxy.
Gloucester H, Gloucester J, Gloucester K,
Yes.
Gloucester L,
Yes, by proxy.
Gloucester M,
Yes, by proxy.
Gloucester P, Grantham, Highgate B,
Yes, by proxy.
Highgate C,
Yes.
Highgate D, Highgate F,
Yes, by proxy.
Highgate 3,
Yes, by proxy.
Highgate 4,
Yes, by proxy.
Huntington, or Huntington,
Huntington, yes.
Idlewood,
Yes.
Inverness,
Yes, by proxy.
Jameson,
Yes.
Kensington, Knowles 1,
Yes, by proxy.
Lancaster 1,
Yes.
Lancaster 2,
Yes, by proxy.
Lancaster 4, Manchester 1, Manchester 2, Manchester 3,
Yes, by proxy.
Maplewood,
Yes.
Nantucket 1, Nantucket 2, Nantucket 4, Oakley Green, Oxford 1, Oxford 2, Princeton, Radisson 1,
Yes, by proxy.
Richmond,
Yes, by proxy.
Somerset,
Yes.
Southampton 1, Southampton 2, Tremont 1,
Yes by proxy.
Tremont 2,
Yes by proxy.
Villeroy,
Yes by proxy.
Worlington,
Yes.
and Yorkshire.
Yes by proxy.
Mr. President, give me a few minutes. I will put that.
You want to calculate with the abstentions?
I can just have 4 associations for now.
Because while you're doing that, Ma Bell, I was just going to recognize that for those of you who watch Survivor, which has been on the air for 20 years, and I don't know if Ma Bell knows this or not, but the winner of Survivor this year, well, too bad. The winner of this year happens to be from, she's a Canadian citizen, but she's originally from the Philippines. A very nice girl. She looks a lot like Ma Bell, except she has shorter hair. And I just thought it was as I watched it, I thought this woman could be Ma Bell out there competing, because that's what she does. So, Ma Bell, you should feel proud for your native country. That someone would have to pick up those trash cans. Oh, just to let you know why Ma Bell is putting this together, we're not the only one that had to do a contract in this community with FCC. If you notice around the clubhouses, in fact, in the back parking lot of this clubhouse, there are dumpsters, and down at the South Club, there are dumpsters. Those are under contract with Vesta on behalf of the Land Trust as part of their work, and I believe, Ginger, if you correct me, you've completed your contract with FCC Environmental. So when they come in, they will be, I know they collect yours more than they collect the residents, but you've already completed your contract with that also. And I believe you looked around at the, Ginger, you looked around at the pricing and everything, and they were very competitive compared to everyone else, am I correct?
They were actually the best company, and I know you had the same representative that we did, and very great to work with. We actually went back to how many pickups the South Club ends up filling up theirs too soon, so we were able to make some adjustments, and it was still a better price. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but it was
No, I wouldn't expect you to, but at least we know that we're on the same page and picking the same company because of their competitiveness, and they're willing to work with us on it. It was very surprising generally when you do a new contract that we just sent them our contract and said, we expect you to send the contract we currently have in place that we just did a year ago. So, and they accepted it word for word. They didn't have any changes to it at all, which was very good.
Sir, ready?
It's about time. You're keeping these people from being able to go enjoy their holidays. I hope you know
They
that.
need to see me before Christmas, Jack. Yes, sir. I have the tally now. I have 75 associations voted yes, with 3,689 units, which is 99.4%. and one association voted no with 24 units with 0.6%. And I have 4 association vote abstain with 346 units.
And the motion is passed, and Keith, would you notify AFCC that we are ready to move forward with them as soon as we get the contract signed with them? With that, we will move to any good and welfare announcements. Again, Eileen, thank you for your work on the leadership team of putting together that holiday celebration. It's very much appreciated by the community.
You're quite welcome, and I ate too much. It was wonderful.
First of all, I wanted to say that tonight at 6 o'clock, some of us will be wandering through your communities in golf carts because the COA lighting contest throughout the communities is being judged tonight. So if you see a group of golf carts riding through, it's probably just us. So, we will have announcements. The winner gets $100, and the second one gets $50, and the third one gets honorable mention. So, but we'll have a good time, and it's another piece of the holiday separations. I did have one other totally unrelated question that I would appreciate a response, not necessarily right this minute, okay, but from Keith. And it has to do with the fact that for some reason on our First Service Connect websites, the information regarding our residents has been removed from board access other than the name of the person who's living in the condo. So there's no phone numbers listed. There's really no way for us to go onto the Connect website as board members and contact, have current contact for residents information or emergency contact if something should come up and we need to get hold of them. And it isn't always like a massive disaster that we would contact Keith about. It could be anything from one of your dogs getting loose and running around and we can't find you and all that. So I'd appreciate some, this was done, it used to be, we had all that information, and now it's gone. We don't have access to it, and I'd like to know when and why First Service made that decision on our behalf without discussing it with us. So I'd appreciate an answer in the future. Okay? That's all. Thank you.
Dan Page, Treasurer of Andover Tea.
Dan, wait one moment. Keith, I know you were addressing that particular issue that Eileen raised. Should you be able to get back to her either today or the beginning of the week? Because I thought you had that issue resolved. So Eileen, you should be hearing from Keith today or Monday, and I believe Keith has a resolution on that for you. It should be able to respond to you rather quickly.
I asked Jackie Arnold recently if there's any way the board members can look at the bills that have been paid online, and she said there's an application for us with authorized people to look at them, but she wasn't clear as to what it is. If there is, if you could send it to the board members so that we can go online and check. We had questions on some bills that were paid.
You're speaking of your association bills, correct?
Right.
Keith, can you use a mic?
Okay. That's all I have.
The association board members should be able to look at that, correct, Keith?
Yeah, if you're on the Avid Exchange program, depending if you have authorization to view or approve, you would be able to view all invoices.
This is the first I heard of that program. I'm in my 7th term as treasurer. And she didn't give me enough information for me to get into it.
Okay.
Any other good and welfare? And I will accept a motion to adjourn. Thank you. Second. All in favor, say aye. All of you have a safe and happy